So let's have a look. So we have the Page of Swords coming up as your underlying energy. What is the Page of Swords? The spy, right? The one who goes out there to get more information. And now I know the Page of Swords has been given this kind of reputation of being the stalker, being whatever. And we can all do that. Who hasn't kind of taken a look at their ex's social media or whatever? This is about getting more information. But the thing is, think about that. Think about that example that I just gave. If you're checking out someone's social media, is that really going to give you a true picture of what's going on with that person? Think about it. Most people, they post the highlights of their life on their social media. They're not going to show, although there are some people, I have seen some people that post everything, but most people don't. And that's the thing with the Page of Swords. He gets information, but it's about understanding what it truly means. We don't always fully understand the information that we get when the Page of Swords comes up. So I always advise that if you've got this kind of energy, if you've come into some kind of information, chances are you don't fully understand it. You don't fully understand it. It's really strange, actually. It comes to mind. And whenever I'm reading, I always come in blank, right? Blank slate. I don't think of anything. And any kind of story, any kind of memory, a comment, whatever that comes up, it's part of the reading. And I actually had I think she's a Capricorn, actually, that sent me a message this morning about one of my podcast rambles. Now, first of all, this is a person who I kind of put this person in the category, and I don't usually categorize people, of they want to just speak their truth, but they don't really want a response. First of all, there's that. Secondly, that's what she actually said to me about the podcast ramble, was that she didn't understand it. Basically, her comment showed that she didn't understand what I meant for the whole manifestation thing. And it's understandable. There's a lot of people that don't understand manifestation. It's something that we talk about a lot. But she didn't ask me the question. She gave me a counter argument to what I was saying, which I found very interesting. And that's the kind of action that we can take from the Page of Swords, where we're acting off the information, but we've not understood what the information meant. Instead of asking for clarification, we react from what we think we understand. When the Page of Swords comes up, it says, no, more information is needed. Now, think about this. Think about this. For you, yes, more information is needed. What is it to do with? There's a lot of cups coming up here. There's a lot of cups coming up here. So it feels like there's something or someone around you right now, with the Knight of Cups is coming up as the focus. And who's the delusional romantic, right? Someone who's offering you the sun, the moon, and the stars. And you're like, I don't know if I trust this person. I don't know what they're offering. Because that's the thing with the Knight of Cups. He is the dreamer. I mean, he's riding a bloody unicorn over a rainbow. Think about it, right? And yet, he comes from a pure emotional place. He's very much about pursuing his emotional, like what's going to make him happy. That's what the Knight of Cups does. So you're well within rights here to say, well, hang on a second. That looks a bit too good to be true. Both of these energies say that. It's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. But is it? Because the Page of Swords would say, you don't have all the information here. More information is needed. Now, I kind of get the sense this is not something that someone else is offering you. It's not to do with that. This is looking at your own dreams, which is kind of strange, right? Because where do you get more information about your own dreams? Well, we'll see. The reason I'm going down that route is because we have the Hermit here. The Hermit is coming up as the past energy last week, last month, last year, whenever, right? And this talks about taking a step back. We can go into Hermit mode in a room full of people, in an office full of people. It doesn't mean that we literally go into seclusion. Some people do. Some people do go and retreat. And this is where they just disappear to go figure out some stuff. Some people do that. But it's in the past. So it's a general, so it can go both ways. Remember that in the messages that come through. But if there's someone central to your story, this could be trying to explain to you what's happening here. But the Hermit is someone who's taken a step back to go and reevaluate. But how are they reevaluating? Again, have a look. There's nothing around this person. There's nothing around him. So the Hermit is actually looking within. That lantern, it usually has a star in it, which is a star of hope. So it's about looking within. This is the card for Virgo. And I always see the Hermit as someone who is trying to regain their power in a situation. Regain their power. It's a card of self-empowerment. Because ultimately, no matter what the situation is, what the Hermit discovers is that only he or she has the power to change the situation. To change the situation. Now, even when we manifest, right? And a lot of people think manifestation is how we act. Actually, I'll give you an example. I mean, I love that person. If you're watching this, the person who messaged me this morning, thank you. Everything happens for a reason, and it feels like that was part of this message. So what I want to say is this, that we don't manifest from our actions. We don't manifest from our thoughts. So the example that that person gave was that, I'm a good person and I manifest bad people. Are you good to yourself though? I mean, I'll give you an example. When I'm critical, when I'm really critical of myself, like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do this? That kind of self-criticism that comes in. I will encounter people that criticize me. Now, I don't ever go around criticizing people. I'm very much live and let live. Everyone has their own truth. You do you, boo. That, I will just see if you're crossing my boundary, if it works for me or not. But I don't ever criticize or judge anyone. And yet I encounter people like that. Like does attract like, because they are treating me how I'm treating myself. And that's important to remember, because we have the Ace of Cups coming up in your present. What is in your cup? What's in your cup? This is the opportunity to begin a new emotional cycle. Now, what does that mean? Something that makes us happy. When the Ace of Cups comes up, we see the potential for great happiness in this situation. It's just starting. Starts off with our own cup. But this is why I think there's some emotion bubbling up here. There's some feeling that you have, whether it's about a job, whether it's about a person, your living situation, whatever it is. There's an emotion that's coming up and it feels good. It feels good. But I get it. When you've gone through so much and it feels like whatever has come up, it's come through your own soul searching, through this hermit energy, whatever this was. There's something that you understand now about what's in your cup, about the love that you have to offer. Every great love story begins with how we love ourselves. No one's going to come and prove us wrong. If we love ourselves and respect ourselves, we teach other people how to love and respect us. And yeah, sometimes you'll meet people that disrespect us, and then it's a chance for us to prove, do we truly respect ourselves? Will we reject this based on what we know about ourselves? So with the Page of Swords coming up here, this is almost like more information on what's in your cup. Why? I mean, if you take nothing else away from this, Capricorn, just take away this one question. Why do you feel the way you feel? Why do you feel the way you feel? And you have the answer because you've already been through it. But it's almost like there's a glimpse of happiness in it. It feels like there's a distrust of it. I don't know if I can trust this. I don't know if I can trust how I feel. I don't know if I should begin this new. I mean, my cup feels great here, but what's going to happen? What happens with it? Because have a look at what's coming up in the future. And this is a projection from where we are, right? The Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, it's fantasy, it's illusion, yes, but it asks you which dreams are worth pursuing, which dreams are not. I feel like this is the week where you have a change, a shift in your dream. What it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what it is that you think will make you happy. And, someone might look at this and think, well, I don't care about emotions, I don't care about love, I don't care about any of that stuff. Yes, you do. Everything that you do comes from a place of love and emotion. Everything that you want, even if it's completely practical. If you want that house, if you want that job, if you want that million in the bank, you want it because you think it's going to make you feel a certain way. Right? So if the way you feel and what makes you happy has changed, then your goals and dreams are going to change too, right? Makes sense? That's why I think the Page of Swords is so crucial here. This is about getting more information. Getting more information. Now, with the Seven of Cups coming up, and have a look. I mean, she's riding a bloody dragon over a rainbow that's coming out of a cup. I mean, this is a fantasy here. But it's asking you, which dreams are worth pursuing, which dreams are not? What is your dream? What is the wish? Because I feel like it's changed. It's changed. That can be very disconcerting. Yeah, it can be. Think about it. If all you've ever wanted is to get a great job with a pension, or you've been studying something, or, whatever, then if all of a sudden now you think, well, I might like to get married, that's going to throw you for a loop. It's going to be like, no, what am I doing? But it's trusting how you feel, trusting what's in your cup. That's why that's so crucial with that here. Getting more information about what's in your cup. Pages are they're the least experienced of the court cards. I see them very similar to aces, actually. So the Page of Swords is going to be very similar to the Ace of Swords. We have an idea. We kind of know what it is, but it's about fleshing out what the thought process is, fleshing out the information, changing our perspective, figuring out what is truly going on with my cup, with how I feel. Because when you figure that out, then you'll know which dream is worth pursuing, which dream isn't. Because until you know what's in your cup, how are you going to know which cup matches yours? That's when people try to link up with any old person, because they don't even know what their own cup is worth. They don't know what's in their cup, and they will audition anyone for that role of boyfriend or girlfriend or business partner or whatever. Or, you know, you'll go for any old job because is it going to make me happy? That's the big thing here. Is it going to make me happy? Now, what's your advice? The advice is this is going to drag you kicking and screaming out of your comfort zone. You lucky devils. And I say that because I love it. Whenever I come, well, all right, let's be clear on this. Whenever I hit the limit, whenever I get to a place where something is uncomfortable, I know that that's the limit of my comfort zone. I know that's the limit of my comfort zone. That's called comfort zone for a reason. It's because we want to stay in that comfort zone. For some of you, the difficulty is to get the more, you'll have to speak to someone to kind of explore if this is worth it or not, to get more information. And that will pull you out of your comfort zone. Why? Why am I saying that? Because you're coming out of this hermit energy, which is very self-sufficient, very much the answer lies within me. You know, everything that I know, I have the answer to it. Hermit, right? Like I said, you can be in a room full of people, but very kind of, I don't want to say standoffish, but you kind of retreat within yourself. And I feel like this is pulling you out to go explore if your dream is worth pursuing or not. That's the key to this week. But it's going to, look at the advice, it's let go of this. And this is the miser card. Now, for some of you, yes, it could very literally be that to do all of this, you're thinking, I don't have the money. So that if you want to start a new business is going to make you happy. You're researching what it would take to get this business going. This might be, I don't have enough money to do this. But it's the only card that would be about that. Everything else is about you, how you feel, what you want to pursue, what you want to do. Now, that's just for a few of you. I think the main message of the Four of Pentacles is look at this person. They're holding on to these Four Pentacles for dear life. Those Four Pentacles represent some kind of physical, because Pentacles are always, something that we can see, feel, and touch. They represent the earth energy, possessions, people, money, jobs, anything that we can see, feel, and touch that surround us. And it represents our security. We do not want to be vulnerable. So this person holds on to the Four Pentacles that they have now. That's great. It's very good to know what is of value to you. However, whenever fours come up, there is no change. There is no movement. And this card says that more than anything. So what the Four of Pentacles is saying to you, if you hold on to what it is that you have here, you'll keep it. You won't lose what you have, but you won't get more. This person has to go spend the Pentacles, has to go and invest the Pentacles, has to go do something with them, right? To be in with a chance to get more. There's never a guarantee. There's never a guarantee. And that can be hard. I said this to someone the other day. Who was I talking to? I think it was a Taurus. And I said, look, what was coming up in the conversation was that, look, the kind of downfall is that unless you guys see it in front of you or you can hold on to it or grab it, it doesn't exist to you. It doesn't exist. Like you kind of can become, and obviously it depends. I'm talking about pure earth energy. No one is pure earth energy. Even I have a Virgo moon sign, so I can be like that. But unless we can see it, the practical results or see the plan or what's going to come out of this, sometimes we don't believe that it's real. And that's what's pulling you out of your comfort zone, because this is all heart energy, thoughts, information. What do I need to know? What do I need to communicate? What questions do I need to ask? And it's pulling you kicking and screaming out of this hermit energy. Sorry, Capricorn. Fun though. Figuring out what it is that you love and where you want to take it. And it's new. Now, of course, aces can be a new beginning within an existing situation. But even then, more information is needed with that Page of Swords coming out. And that Page of Swords may be overheard conversations, information that you come across, but it will give you that edge. I think you've done, and trust me, as a reader, I have to give the opposite advice to people usually, which is go within, look within, what do you want, what are the answers within you? You've come out of that. Everything that you could have done with yourself, it's there. It's done. You have that foundation now within yourself to go and express, to, have this cup, to hand it maybe to someone else, to make an offer to someone, or to accept an offer. Doesn't have to be romantic. Thank you so much to everyone that's been there with me. Whether this is the first video that you're ever watching of mine, or whether you've been there with me from before YouTube was even a thing in the Aquarian Insight world, because I've had my website for quite a few years now. Some of you followed me on there when that was all that I was doing. I'm so blessed that you guys are all a part of my journey, and totally and completely honored that you would make me and my messages a part of your journey. I never take that for granted. So I love you guys very much. I will see you next time, but that's all for now. Goodbye.